This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, hello, Kumar. Are you talking or I can't hear anything?
Yeah, me too having same problem.
Same here, same here.
Me too, I can hear nothing.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
You're mute.
Hope it's good now.
Yes, good. Thank you.
Yeah, now we can hear
Okay,
you, Mr.
so
Kumar.
we'll start again. Thank you. Yeah. So welcome to day two of the JMeter session, right? And as a recap, so in day one, yesterday, we have just looked at few points, few basic like software testing, functional, non-functional testing, what is performance testing, right? Uh, just a few things. Yesterday we looked the basic definition, performance testing definition, object of performance testing, right? Objectives, why to do the performance testing, a real user and virtual user, what is virtual user, what performance testing tool does, right? And when performance testing can be done, and why to learn JMeter. So these all steps um, we had looked at in yesterday's session, right? Now today we'll see some other concepts, right? These. So in that first one is JMeter introduction, right? Version and protocol supported by JMeter. So definition of JMeter. JMeter is an open source performance testing tool, or you can say it's application or software, right? Anything. It's a performance testing software, or you can say it's a performance testing tool. It's a purely 100%, right? It's 100% Java based application. It's purely developed using Java. It means that um, any software is developed using certain language, right? So this JMeter is purely developed using Java, means in Java language or using Java language. This has been designed or developed. This is a platform independent tool, right? It means that it can run on Windows OS. You can run on Windows operating system, Mac operating system, or Linux and Unix operating system without any issue. So platform independent. Okay, there is no issue in that. Now history and versions. Okay, so parent organization of JMeter is Apache Software Foundation. So we hope we people may have certain point heard of this Apache Software Foundation, right? This Tomcat, Jenkins, right? These all softwares are made by same Apache Software Foundation only. Means it's their product. Okay, so same JMeter is also one of the product of this Apache Software Foundation. Generally, this Apache Software Foundation provides open source product only. These Jenkins, Tomcats, all are generally open source products. Okay, so this is the organization. One employee of this Apache Software Foundation, whose name was Stefano, he was the original developer of the JMeter back in some 1998 or something. This is the official website. We'll go to official website soon, right? Now current version is 5.4. 5.3 is done. Now 5.4 has been released, and it has been released in December 2020. Okay, December 2020. So we'll go to the website. So what we have to do is on Google, just type JMeter or JMeter website, anything, right? Or just type JMeter. So this is the website, official website, right? And we click on that. So this is what the home page of the website. So here you can see the Apache Software Foundation, right? And this is the JMeter logo, and this is the website. So some definition about that they have written. This is a small website. Around 17 to 18 pages are there uh, on this whole website, right? Then so we'll go to the uh, place where we can download the JMeter, right? So on this website, when you open it, on the left hand side, we'll see this download icon, right? And below that, download releases option is there. Download menu, and below that, download releases option is there. So we'll click on that, and here you can see um, latest version Java Apache JMeter 5.4. Okay, and what it says that it requires Java 8 plus. So any JMeter requires Java 8 plus nowadays. So what is that? I'll talk. Okay, and from here we can download. So we'll come to the download soon. So from here we can download the JMeter. Now next is few information just to have knowledge on, like current version changes, previous version changes. What it means is, see, every day or every time when a software is released, right? Every time new version of a software is released, so some changes will be there. Like we always get the update for WhatsApp, right, or Facebook in our phone. So some updates is coming, some changes is coming. So what changes could be there, right? Where we can read about that in each version. So here, I'll show you. Yeah, on the same download icon on the left hand side, the second option that is called a releases note, you click on that. Okay. So this is the changes page, right? Changes page. So here you can read about in 5.4 what were the changes done, right? Uh, from 5.3. So here a list of changes they have given in this version, and here they have given an option like if you want to read the changes in all previous versions, so here is the link, right? So if you click this till JMeter version 2 to JMeter version 5.3, all changes is listed here, 5.3, and so like that. If you scroll, this page is very big. Here 5.2.1, right? So I think it's here from 5.2 or 1.0. First JMeter came in December 1998. Okay, so from that every in every version of JMeter when it came, and what was the changes made has been kept on this page, right? We do not need to read all these things. Just what we have to do is, like let us say after having this course, or uh, yeah, completing the session, hope you people will want to show 2 or 3 years of experience. Many people will do. Some will be learning it for just using this JMeter in their project, right? Some will be want to show 2 to 3 years of experience. So that's fine, not an issue. You can always show that much. I'll teach. But few things we have to take care. Let us say you are showing that in your resume that from 2 years I am working on JMeter, right? Now today is 2021. or consider this latest version going on 5.4. Now 2 years back, in 2019 or 2018, you were started working on JMeter. So at that time, which JMeter was there? At least that knowledge we should have. Otherwise, interviewer will ask like, from which JMeter you started using, and from that JMeter to today's JMeter, which version is current JMeter, right? So let us say in 2018, which JMeter was there, and in that what changes were made, and what is the current JMeter, and current version of JMeter, and what changes were made. So this at least we have to answer, right? You cannot say that I was working, I started working on JMeter from 2018, or I'm working from 2018, and um, this version was 5.4. No, very wrong answer. So that's a small thing that we have to take, right? That's what I'm showing, those stuff. Everything, no need, just from the which version you wanted to show, about that, some information we should have. And when you started working, that if you want to show in your resume at that time which version of JMeter was there, right? So this is the, now we can download the previous version of JMeter. That is also a facility given by JMeter people. Okay, so first we'll see. So here, on the download page, when I said, when you click on download releases, so here this is the main page where current version of JMeter will be available, like 5.4. Okay, and this is the two thing, two option here. One you see binaries, and one is source. Okay, so generally who want to use the JMeter, for them this source is not there. No, this is only for developer, some real developer who want to download the source code of the um JMeter and want to make changes in that. Because it's an open source tool, so anyone can download its source code and make certain changes in that. Okay, and if the changes will be good, they can submit it to JMeter, so that in next version they will implement. So this is for them. Okay, not for the person who just want to use it. Now we are the person who will be using it. We are not concerned in developing anything in that, right? So for us, this is the one general use. Okay, binaries, right? So from here we have down. Now in this, you find two options are there. One is tgz file, and one is zip file. Okay, so tgz is for Unix or Linux. You have to download this if you want to execute JMeter on Unix and Linux. Okay, and the below one, the zip file, is for uh, Windows or Mac. Anyone having Mac operating system, Mac machines, right? Apple machines, so there, Mac OS. So below one. So just click and download. So let us say for Windows, if you want to download, so on this zip file, we'll click and download. Correct. Now, same on the same page, if you just scroll down here, archives is there, and in this archive you can see older releases. Means if you want to know about older releases, let us say in 2018 on which JMeter you were working, if you want to have a look, so you can download from this area, browse download area, or mm, click on this second option, Apache JMeter archives, second one, and it will take you to the download page. Here again, since we have to download from binaries, so click on this binaries, right? And you can see here all JMeter are kept here from 2.5, I think, yeah, from 2.5 to till now 5.3, all JMeters are there available for download. 2.1 from 2.1 to 5.3, all are available for here for download. And latest one is here, right? Latest one we can download from here. Okay. And previous one we can download from this option, right? So this is about JMeter website downloading and the versions. Now on the main page of the JMeter, so we can read about the protocol supported. You can see here, it supports the web-based application, right? Then SOAP and REST API web services, FTP, database JDBC, that is what DB queries testing, some other SMTP, and some others are also there. Okay. First thing, then it's a purely Java-based application, right? And another thing is that JMeter is not a browser. Many people think it is a browser, okay, but it's not a browser, um, right? It behave as a browser. We make it behave as a browser, but it's not a browser like how our browser is. It's not a browser. It's a separate tool which behaves as a browser, but actually it's not a browser, right? So these 2 points. Next, some features in JMeter, right? So it's a open source. Its graphical user interface is very friendly. It's a platform independent. Then we can use multi users, means we can generate n number of user load from this JMeter, right? Reporting the test result option is also available. Easy to install. Okay, supports multiple protocol. Unlimited testing capabilities, means since it's a free, there is no license needed. You can use it n number of time, and it highly extensible, means it can be integrated with many other tools. Okay, so these are the basic features. So those features listed here in same in details. Next, how any performance testing tool works, or a JMeter work, right? So any performance testing tool, as we have discussed yesterday, what they do, the three functionality of any performance testing tool is that they will browse, or they will act as a real user on the application, right? They will act as a real user on the application. How the real user is doing, opening, clicking somewhere, okay, submitting a form like this. The same thing the performance testing tool also does. First thing. Second thing, after doing that, they generate n number of load, means 1,000 user load, 2,000 user load. That is what their capability they will generate, because we cannot bring that real users, right? So we are using the tool, and tool will generate n number of users, that is known as virtual users. And in third, what they do, they will get back the results. After putting the load, they will get back the results. So this is how they create the virtual users, right? N number of user, and each n number of users sends the request, receive the response from the website. This is a website, right? And that is what load testing, and it will get the report. Okay, so here it starts uh, to hit the target server like real user. Then it gets the response, saves and shows us all the response, and it calculates the response time. Right, it calculates the response time, it shows that, and that is shown in the graph format. Okay, table. So we'll see that this is a little bit theoretical. We'll soon go in practical. So here, from here we'll start. So first, what we have to do is we have to install Java in our machine to use JMeter. Okay, because here you can see on the download page, what they say, it requires Java 8 plus, and JMeter is 100% purely developed on Java language. Okay, so Java needs to be installed in our system, Java file. In Java, there are two things which they call as a JDK and JRE. Okay, JDK means Development Kit, and JRE means Java Runtime Environment, right? So these are the two things actually, which are the part of Java actually. The name of the Java. Java has two things, JDK and GRE. Now, how we can check that whether Java is installed in our system or not? I mean, the JDK and GRE is installed or not in our system. So if you see Java dash version, okay, this command, we have to type in our command prompt. So it verifies whether GRE is installed or not. Okay, and Java C dash version, Java C dash version, this verifies whether JDK is installed or not. So if we have to just open command prompt right of our Windows, or in Linux also. This command works everywhere in Linux, Mac OS, or Windows. Okay, everywhere it works, same command. So on the terminal in Mac or Linux, or here in command prompt, what we have to type is just type Java dash version. So for me, since it's installed, it's showing a success message, right? That it's installed. Same to check for Java C. What I'll type Java C dash version for JDK. Okay. So here again, it's showing Java C 1.8, correct? Like that. If Java is not installed, then how we will get a message? We'll get a message like this. I've kept a screenshot. So let us say you try to search for Java dash version. Okay. So it will throw you a message like Java is not recognized as internal or external command. Generally, in your system, Java is not installed in any of the system. Like when you first time bring any system, any, let it be Windows or Mac or Linux, Java will not be there. We have to install it. Okay. If you want to verify, you can just put this command and you'll see Java is not recognized, like error message will come. It means that it's not installed. So we have to install it, right? Now, how we can install it? So what we have to do, we have to go to the website of Java. And remember that Java 8 or Java 11 are the better choice for now to be installed. Currently, Java 14 or 15 is also going, but um, in going session, we'll be using Jenkins also. Jenkins integration with the JMeter, we'll see, right? Jenkins. So Jenkins is having problem with some issue it's having with the higher version of Java. Okay. So what I suggest is either you download Java 8 or Java 11, right? So from where we can download, so same, we will go to the Google, correct, and search for Java download. Just simply type in Google Java down. So we'll get this icon, java.com. Okay. But do not go to this option, first option. This is the old link. Okay, this option is the old link. Do not go. Go to this link, second link, which start with oracle.com. Because currently Java is owned by Oracle. Earlier it was owned by Sun Technology, Sun Microsystem, not Sun Technology, Sun Microsystems. Okay. Sun Microsystems was one company very long back, around 6 to 7 years back. They were the real owner of Java. They only bought the Java. Okay. Now it is owned by Oracle. So that this is the old website. So do not go there. Come here in oracle.com Java, and we'll download from here. So here you can see Java AC download, right? A standard edition. And so currently Java 15 is available, right? Here on top. Below, if we go, you can see 14 is there. Then here 11 is there, right? 11. 8 is also there. 8 is also there. So as I said, anyone generally, if you want to, I'll prefer to say that download 11 or 8. Okay, anyone for now, but do not download 14 or 15 because of the Jenkins issue. Now what we have to do is on this page download the JDK. Okay, JDK. Installing JDK will also do the work. Okay, so if you see here on the right hand side, both this option is there, Oracle JDK and Oracle JDK. So download this JDK. For Java 8, there is two options. One is JDK download, one is JRE download. But do not worry, just download the JDK. JRE, let it be, not required. Okay, because in after 8 they are discontinuing the GRE. JDK is the one which will do the work of both JDK and GRE. Okay, so download the JDK. Click on the JDK or from here, right? For 8 here and for 11 here. Same, it's there for 14 and 15 also. Right here, 15 is there. Then here 14 is there. Right, 14. We'll click on this. Then it will take you to the page where you have to choose your operating system. So here you can see list of operating system. On which operating system we want to download, that you have to choose. So let us say mine is Windows 64. So I'll just click on this link, right? And it will ask to yeah, it will ask a agreement, right? So we have to click on this, put a check mark, right? And it will ask to download. So click on this download, and maybe it requires a sign in. I think sign in it requires. Yeah, so we have to create a simple login with Oracle. It's a free to download. It's not like that. So simple sign up, like on every website, like how sign up is there. So you can create an account right here, and then using the same credential, you have to log in, and uh, and you can download. Or I think for Java 8, this is not required. Maybe try once. For the Java 8, sign in is not required. For 11, it's asking. For Java 8, please try once. Okay, maybe sign in is not required. Or if it is required, then we have to sign in, and we have to download. Okay, same for Java 8 also. Choose the operating system and choose the file. Everyone is having now 64-bit of operating system, so we can select this option, right? And here we can click and download. Here just uh, put a check. No, this will also require sign in. Here it's saying you will be required to go to the login screen. Okay, so we have to sign in. There is no other option. After signing in, you will be allowed to download. Okay, so this is how we have to download, and then we have to install. So next step will be installing. So let us say I'll go to my downloads. So once you download, this is how Java will look. Here I have actually I have 14 here, but yeah, 11, 8, everyone will look like the same. Okay, all will look like this same. Okay, it's the exe file. So simply double click to install, right? And just keep on installing. Next, next, next. That's it. What we have to do. Click yes. Right, and just next, next. Keep on doing just next, next. So it will install. So this is 14. Ignore that. For 11, 8, for every Java same step. Just click on next. Then it will give you a path where it is installing. Remember this path. This path will be required. Will be needing this path where it is installing, right? And then click on next, and it will install it for you. JDK, that version will be installed for you. So I have already installed, so I'm just canceling it. Right now, once the installation is completed, then what we have to do is go to your C drive, right? C drive, or the path that I just said, that we have to remember. So that will be there in C drive, and you will find two folders, or maybe one folder related to program files. Okay, so remember that path. Maybe it can be program files only. So inside program files or program files x86, just check one folder will be created. The name will be Java. Okay, here after the installation is finished, right? So in C, in program files, and this is the Java. This was the same path when we were installing it. It was saying, right? Just I'll show you. So that's what. Just remember the path where it is installing it. So your next here you can see that C program files Java, right? So it's installing there. So we have to go back just to verify. So after installation is complete, go to C right, in program files or program files x86, but generally in program files only, and you'll find one folder created called Java, right? And in Java, you'll see two. Many are saying that I'm just getting JDK. Many so if you install 11, I think you will just get JDK. If you install 8, I think you will get both JDK and GRE. Not an issue. Okay. If you are not getting GRE, not an issue, as I said. Okay, JDK will do. If only JDK has been installed, do not worry. Installing JDK will also do the work. Okay, do not worry if GRE is not getting installed. Right, JDK is the important one. Right. So installing JDK will do the work. So you'll find that JDK or GRE, both are the simply JDK will be there installed over there, right? Now after this, what we have to do is we have to uh, set up the environment or system variable or home path setup we have to do. So this is the installation. Now there is one more process which is known as setting up the environment variable or system variable or home path setup, right? So where we can do that. So on the same uh, open my computers, means whenever you open um, your my computers, so we'll get all available disk, right? This kind of thing we'll generally get. So what you can do is you can go here, system properties, right? System properties. No, not here. Or on desktop, I'll it's easy to go from desktop. So on desktop we have my computers. Every so we have this option, my computer or this PC now nowadays, right? On our desktop you'll see. So right, or I think you'll get in startup menu also. File Explorer, and by default it will be there on every desktop. It's there, this PC icon, right? So just right click on this PC icon and or my computer icon, and you'll see properties will be there, right? In the last, you have to go to the properties, and then here on the left hand side you'll see this option called advanced system setting. Okay, this option, advanced system setting. So click on that, and automatically one more pop-up will come called system properties pop-up, right? Here that advanced tab will be auto selected, and in the same tab here below you'll see environment variables will be there, right? So we have to click on this environment variables, right? So click on that. So one more pop-up will come. So this is the environment variable pop-up. Okay, environment variable pop-up. Now in these two areas are there. One is this one and another one is this one. So what we have to do is search for a line called path. You see here path, or here also path line. One line is there path. By default it will be there. Okay. Now what is up? We can do the changes in any one. You can do in both also, not problem. Any one of these, any one. But I'll suggest to do this in this system variable one. This is the for system variable. This is user variables. Okay. So what I'll suggest to do this in this one below one. But what happen is sometime in office laptop or office system, this will be disabled for you. This will be disabled for us. So we can do in this one in user variable. This will be enabled in office system because the restriction is there, right? Or office laptop. So the below in office system, this will be disabled. Okay, so we cannot make any changes here, and we this will be enabled generally, so we can make changes over here, right? So anywhere we can do, but if you have option to do changes here, then do the changes here in this path, right? You see this path, what changes we have to do, I'll tell. But in this path, if you do first priority, if you do not have access to this, then you do the changes over here in this path, right? So what we have to do is select this option called path, right? It will be highlighted. Same thing you have to do here, select this path, it will be highlighted, and then go to new, not new, edit, sorry. Select that and go to edit. Same way here, select this and go to edit, right? So I'll just go here and click on edit. And then just we have to give a entry. You'll see many lines over here, right? Just we have to put the path of the Java JDK. That's what we have to do, nothing. So as I told you here in our C drive, in program files, Java folder will be there, and inside that you will see JDK and JRE. If JRE is not there, do not worry, JDK will certainly be there. Open this JDK and go up to bin directory. Inside this JDK, what will be there? Bin directory will be there, right? So go up to bin directory and copy this path here from the address bar. Copy the path, right? Copy the path, and then come there in this pop-up and just put it in the last. Just paste it. Double click here and just paste it like this. Okay, simple. This is what we have to do. If you have JRE also, so same thing you can do for JRE. If it is if JRE is there, if JRE is not there, then do not worry. Again, I am repeating, if only JDK you got, so no need to worry. Just do for JDK, JRE is not required. If you are getting both, then you can do for JRE also. Open JRE. In JRE, you will get bin directory and copy the path. And for JRE also, you put it here, same. But if you are not getting JRE installed, no need to worry. Only JDK will do the work, right? So I've done this for both here, right? And then click on what we have to do after adding. What we have to do, click on OK, 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 simple, OK, and here also OK. Same thing you will get if you select this and go to edit here, like this, and go to edit, same stuff. Here you have to add, right, that path, and then OK. So OK, 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 done. After this, what you do to verify whether it has been done correctly or not, open the command prompt and type this command. Okay, so once close any command prompt and freshly open the command prompt fresh, and after setting up the path, to verify whether everything is done, type this command in your terminal or command prompt, and it will show you a success message, Java C dash version. If it's showing success message, means it's if it's showing a message like this, so it means that it's success, right? And it means that done, properly done. Okay, so this much what we have to do, that's it, right? And remember one thing, do not install two different version of Java and JDK in your system. Means 8 also you have installed, 11 also you have installed, 14, no, any one only you should do. Okay, so after this, once this Java installation is done, then we will go for and download JMeter. So as usual, I told that JMeter can be downloaded from here, and we have this binaries option in this. The first one is for Unix, right? Unix and Linux operating system. The zip file you see, zip file is for Windows, okay, Windows and Mac OS, right? So click that simply. It's a zip file. No sign in, nothing is required because this is a open source. It will just download it. Okay. So I think I have just downloaded. Yeah, here. So you can see here, it's just as it's a zip file. Zip means what? Compressed, right? So we have to unzip this. So first I'll take it to my C drive. I'll copy to my C drive and I'll put it here. And then we will unzip it. Okay, because it's zip file. So we have to extract it. Extracting means decompressing, unzipping or decompressing. Okay. So here it got um, decompressed, right? And if you check the size of this folder, it will be just 125 MB of file, 123, 120, okay, MB of size. This much small it is. And yeah, we can open this. So double click, and you see these are the files and folder inside this JMeter. And in that, most important is this bin directory. Okay, bin directory. So uh, there is no installation here, like how other software we install Java only. Once we downloaded, we clicked and we did next, next, and then it was installed, right? But JMeter is just a download and use tool. Download and use tool. Okay, just we have to download, decompress it or unzip it, and simply go to bin directory and launch it and start using it. Okay, that's it. So launching the JMeter once it has been downloaded. So launching on Windows OS. So there are two ways to launch. One is GUI mode and another one is non-GUI mode. Non-GUI mode means using CLI. So how we can do that from GUI mode? There is two files there, bat file and jar file in the bin directory. As I said, bin directory is also there. Here in Java also we see bin directory was there, right? In JMeter also this bin directory is there. Bin folder. Directory means folder. So we have to go there inside the JMeter, and if you open so bin directory, most important directory here, right? Just open it and you'll see here jmeter.jar, the jar file. Okay, and here you'll find jmeter.bat file, Windows badge, you can see. So just double click on this file. Generally we use this option to open the JMeter, not this one. Why? There is a reason. But you can launch JMeter for from anyone, either from this or from this. But which one is the preferred if you ask? So this one is generally preferred to open the JMeter from this option. So simply double click. Okay, double click and you'll see one console will come first and then JMeter will be launched like this. And in very beginning, whenever you launch the JMeter, your JMeter will be in with the dark screen color. It will be like this. No, not this. Mhm. Yeah, it will be like this color. Okay. So first this console will come. This console, this console you see. First this will be coming. This is known as JMeter console. JMeter console. Okay, console. And then after this is open, then slowly once some message will come here, you see a kind of message will come here. It's a normal message, do not worry. And then after that this JMeter will be launched. This is the JMeter. Okay, and yeah, it will be in this color initially, right? So you can change the color because here it's look options do not look very fine, right? So I'll prefer to say or suggest that change the color from this color. So how we can change the color? Go to options here and go to look and feel, right? Go to options here and go to look and feel, and here you choose metal. I find metal is the good one, so select the metal. Metal you will also find better. Okay, metal. So this is the metal color. Right now it looks fine. We can see the options. In that color, the many options were not visible. And by default, you will see the icons will be small. If you want to zoom, you can always zoom. In the options, you'll see zoom. Um, so you can do multiple times. So a little bit bigger they will become, right? The alphabet. So this is what JMeter. Here, as usual, normal icons are there. Here few tools are kept. So when we'll start using, we'll come to know what are these. And this side will be like left side where we add the elements. So in yesterday's session, I told there are 12 major element and it has some 5 to 6 element. So there are generally on an average 60 plus element in JMeter, right? So elements we add here in this area, and on this area, the attributes of that element will be there. So let us say one element is test plan. So here the attributes of the element you will get right here. Okay. So this is what JMeter. Now the console which has opened, you see here, do not close this console, because if you close this console, this JMeter will also close. They are interrelated. Okay, they are interrelated. So do not close. You can just minimize it. If you close, I'll just show you, the main JMeter will also go. Both has been closed, right? And the same thing you can do from JMeter, this jar file. But whenever you launch JMeter from this jar, that console will not open. Only JMeter will open. Okay, like this. See, only JMeter came, right? Console didn't came. There is no problem in that. You can directly launch from jar or bat file, but preferred option is a bat file. Okay, preferred option. Why preferred option is it is there? Because of two reasons. One is that we'll get that console. Okay, now we'll ask me what is the use of that console. So going forward, when we use the JMeter, or while you'll be working on JMeter, so some errors sometimes JMeter throws related to the software or some memory issue or something. So that is displayed over here, right? That is displayed over here. So at that time it is useful, right? It is at that time it is useful to read. So for that purpose, this is very this is handy. First thing. Second thing, going forward in the session, we'll see we have to change the memory of the JMeter. Okay, memory of the JMeter. That memory is also known as heap memory. So we can there is the option to change the memory or the heap is only given in this file, right? In this file. So that's why this is preferred option. Okay. So launch the JMeter from the JMeter.py. Right. So this is what launching JMeter from GUI. GUI means what? Graphical user interface, right? Going to the bin directory and using our mouse, just clicking this file and opening the JMeter. So GUI mode of launching the JMeter. Then we have non-GUI mode. Non-GUI mode is more important, so we have to know this, because on Linux, or on Mac, I think we cannot open using GUI mode. We have to open using command line. Okay, command line only. So how we can open using command line? So first we have to go to the bin directory using our command prompt. So let us say we'll open our command prompt. Okay. And then cd command, cd and this is the path, JMeter until bin directory, right? I will copy and we'll go here. CD and C JMeter 5.4 and bin directory. So hope we are all aware of the CD command. CD means change directory. Okay. So now using cd command, we have went till the bin directory, right? You can see here bin directory. And now here just just type jmeter.bat or yeah, jmeter.bat. Okay, simply type here jmeter.bat, and you'll see this command prompt will become now console because it has been converted as console, and the jmeter will open. Okay, you can see, and this command prompt has been converted in jmeter console. Okay, jmeter console. So you cannot close this. If you close, jmeter will be closed. So you have to minimize and let it be, right? And here will be working. Okay, so that is one way. And let us say if you are not able to launch jmeter via this file name, this is what I have given jmeter.bat over here. Nothing is special, right? And it has launched. If you want to launch using this, then what we have to type here is, I'll just first close it, and I'll open cmd again. We'll go to cd and that bin directory. Right here, you have to type java-jar. What you have to type? Java-jar. Okay, java-jar and that jar file. So this full file with its file name and extension. So right click and F12 and copy full file, right? And just paste it, or you can type it here manually, apache jmeter.jar. You can type it here. I'm just copy pasting. So java-jar, okay, and apache jmeter.jar, and then hit the enter button. So again, same, this this command prompt will be converted as a console, and jmeter will be launched. Okay, that's it. One more easy way is there, that do not worry about all this on generally on Windows system. Okay, do not worry. What we have to do is just open the CMD, use the cd command, go to the bin directory, right, and paste it here. So it's now navigating in the bin directory, right? Navigating in the bin directory, and just type here simply jmeter. What we have to type? Simply type jmeter, nothing. Simply jmeter. No .bat file or no jar file. Simply jmeter you type, and it will just launch. So this is the easiest way. Okay. And this has been converted as console. We'll minimize this and will be working here, right? Now, why this GUI is more important? Because as I said in it went, yeah, why CLI mode or non-GUI mode is important? Because in non-GUI mode, using non-GUI mode only in Mac OS or Linux or Ubuntu OS, you can launch the JMeter, not using GUI mode, right? So same way, you have to navigate to that directory and just launch the JMeter. So I'll tell you again. Okay, first thing. Second thing, sometime using GUI mode, JMeter is not launched. Means directly if you go to bin directory, maybe in your system some problem will happen, and if you want to open this jmeter.bat file, you double click it multiple times, it's not opening. Then you can always go from CLI mode. CLI mode is what? Command line interface, or non-GUI mode, we call it as a non-GUI mode, using command prompt, and we can launch the JMeter. Okay, so that is one option, right? That's why CLI is important. Load testing, when the load testing will happen, that is done generally in non-GUI mode only. And there is one more launching mode of JMeter, which is known as proxy mode. That is also known, that is third launching mode. So that is also done in non-GUI mode. So that is why this non-GUI mode and CLI mode is important, and that is why we should know about that. Okay, so CLI mode will cover later on. This third mode, the third mode, proxy mode of launching the JMeter, we'll see after a few sessions. Okay. So yeah, so best way practice of launching JMeter in GUI mode is using .bat file. Then sometime if JMeter.bat file do not launches right in your system, um, launches the JMeter, try launching with it with administrator privilege, or try launching with it with non-GUI mode. Okay, non-GUI mode. Sometime it can happen. It means that in your system, when you just try to double click this, maybe it's not opening. So what we can do is there are two options. Either you right click and you see this administrator run as administrator, but in your office laptop you cannot run this as a administrator. Okay, so then you can execute it using you can launch it using non-GUI mode. That is what, using command prompt. Okay, via command prompt CLI mode by going to bin directory and just launching it. And there is one tips actually. Uh, Launch the JMeter with administrator privilege once if possible. Right here you can see if possible, I have said, in your system, either from GUI mode or non-GUI mode. Okay, it's not mandatory, but a suggested option. It means that what, at least one time, means first time. Let us say when you have downloaded the JMeter, so first time try to launch it. At least one time we have to do, not every time. Like just one time we have to do, and next time you can use normally. No need to always launch with that administrator privilege. But at least one time, if you have the options to launch it with administrator privilege, launch it with administrator privilege. How to do? Right click and you'll see as usual a run as administrator. Just click on that and click yes. It will be executed as a administrator. Okay, so at least one time we have to do. It's a just a tips. Okay, it helps JMeter in creating some system registry entry for JMeter in environment variable. That's it. But it's not a mandatory option. Remember, if you are not able to do that, like as I said, in your office laptops, office system, you do not have administrator privilege, so you'll not be able to do that. So do not worry. It's just one a tip. Okay, if you do it, it's better. If you do not do it, okay, not an issue. So this is what launching the JMeter. And let us say if and this JMeter is 100% dependent on Java. So first, that's why first Java was needed, Java installation was needed. Then only we were able to execute the JMeter. Let us say if Java is not installed, right? If Java is not installed, and if you try to launch the JMeter, it will throw an error like this. Java is not installed, and when we try to launch the JMeter, then you'll see it throws an error like this. That Java, it cannot find Java or check Java installation, right? So this kind of error will come if Java is not installed. So Java is a needed thing, right? So we had a walkthrough, right? Why to launch JMeter in non-GUI mode, CLI mode. These are the reason, right? Then a little walkthrough on the application default color. It's a download and use tool, correct? Then few other thing, that it directly can be carried to any location. Like as I said, you can see it's a download and use tool. So you can copy this folder anywhere. It's not like that you keep in C drive. If you want to keep it in D drive, you can keep in D drive, E drive, F drive, or if you want to keep it on desktop, you can keep it anywhere, because it's just a download and use tool. Wherever you can copy and keep it, just 125 MB of file, right? Wherever you wish, you can keep. First thing. Second thing, you can rename the main directory. Okay, this main directory you can rename and make it more beautiful, because if you find this name is little bit long, so what you can do is just I'll rename. Right click and rename. Right, I'll just type JMeter underscore version 5.4, like this is small. I'll make. I have to close all the JMeter. Wait. Right, so this is how we can rename and make the name small. Okay, but do not rename anything inside this, any files or folder, anything, do not touch them, means do not rename them, or any file inside bin directory what you see, do not play with them, let them as it is. A main directory only, the main directory that you see, you can rename them, or you can take it to some other locations also. Okay, you can make it a little small. Then next tip will be a shortcut creation. Okay, before this, while renaming, do not give any space or a special character. Okay, remember this, avoid giving any space or a special character in naming of any file or folder. It means that, let us say I just rename this, right? So I have given here underscore, if you see, as a separator, JMeter, right? It's like JMeter, and then I have not given a space. To avoid the space, what I have given a underscore, then I have named it as a version 5.4. So do not try to create any space. If you want any space while naming any file, you can give underscore to make as a separator, right? But do not give any white space. White space means the space button, do not do it. Sometimes it creates issue. Okay, so give underscore, that will be good. So here you can jmeter underscore version 5.4, like that. I generally make it as a best practice. That is a good practice. Okay, avoiding any space while naming the, or any special character, a special character like and, dollar, like kind of thing, or a space. Uh, this do not use. Underscore you can use. Okay, it look beautiful also, and the issue will never come. Some issue used to come, especially in JMeter, it used to come. So that will not come. It doesn't recognize white space. White space means the space we give sometime. Okay, JMeter throws the error. That's why it's recommended to use a white space. Any file going forward, any file we do, you will see me. I'll just give a as a underscore between the two names, right? As a separator. If you have to make as a separator. Now create a shortcut creation for JMeter on desktop, jmeter.bat file. So what this means is, let us say every time you want to do JMeter, you want to launch JMeter. So every time you have to open your C drive, then open this, let us say this is the 5.4. Then you have to go inside bin directory, and then you have to launch this, right? jmeter.bat. So what you can do, you can right click on this, go to copy, and you can go to your desktop, and you can paste the shortcut on your desktop here. You see paste shortcut is there. Do not do this paste. Again, I'm repeating, do not do this paste. What we have to do, paste shortcut. Okay, paste shortcut. So you can paste the shortcut over here, and directly you can launch the JMeter from here instead of going so long. Okay, so that is also one tip, like this. Now next is how to do on Mac. So same process. First install Java. First check Java versions. If it is not there, install JRE and JDK. If only JDK is needed, and then download the zip file and go to the terminal, and using CD command there also, go to the bin directory in the Mac, and there you have to type this to start the JMeter. In Windows we just type JMeter, right, on the command prompt. There you have to type sh space jmeter dot sh, space jmeter dot sh on the Mac. That's it. And on Linux also same thing. Uh, on Linux or anyone is using, so there in Linux there is a storage there, one open storage, like how we have Apple Store, Google Store, right, where softwares are kept. So Linux operating systems has a default app store. So like how in Windows, if you have to download the Java, we went to the Oracle website, we selected a version, and then we did sign in, and then only we were able to download. But for Linux, it's not required. Okay, they have actually the free community are there, right? So open source community, they contribute to the Linux, because Linux is a free operating system. Okay, it's open source operating system, Linux, Unix, Ubuntu. So there on their app store, you'll get OpenGRE and OpenJDK. OpenGRE means open, right? It's open. We do not have to sign in like how we did on for Windows. So you can just install them using this command sudo apt get update, search for OpenJDK. So this will search that OpenJDK, and you can install which version. Sudo apt get install and just type the version, and it will install that JDK for you, right? After that, you just download the JMeter. Either you can download JMeter using Mozilla Firefox, because in Ubuntu, Mozilla Firefox is the default browser, right? You can just download it, JMeter. Or if you want to do using non-GUI mode, uh, right, using command prompt also we can download it. So there is a command called wget and the source path. So from where we can get the source path, if you right click, so this will be the file which will be used for Linux, tgz file, right? So right click and you'll see copy source, copy link address. Okay, so on the command prompt, what you have to do in their terminal actually, you have to type wget, right, and that link source that we have just copied like this, copy link address, and it will look like this. Just hit it, so it will download the package for you. On Linux I'm talking, right? And after that, since it is a tar file, the tgz file is known as tar file. Okay, tar. So we have to decompress it, because it's a zip only, like how in Windows we do. So all thing remains same. So how to decompress a tar -xf and the tar file where you have downloaded that Apache JMeter.tar, it will be downloaded in the same file name to look like this. So when you download, same file name you have to give, right, over there after downloading, where tar under -xf and that file name, and it will extract for you using command prompt, means the terminal, right? And then you have to just navigate. Once it's extracted, ls is the list command, cd is to change, and cd bin, go to the bin directory. And finally, how we have to launch? Type like this, dot slash and then JMeter. Okay, so you'll be able to launch it. But generally, do not worry. In our office system, IT people are there, they do this activity, so we do not have to worry. But yeah, this is the steps. Okay. Okay, so that is for today's session. Right. Next, we'll see in next day, day 3.